Hi everyone, it's Peggy Merwin with Stamp with Peggy. Today is actually Sunday, December 4th. I am filming day 5 of my 12 days of Christmas. So those of you who have been following along every day, today we're doing a framed art that I did for my Santa's workshop, and I thought this would be a good way for everyone to see how it goes together. I did see the idea from another demonstrator, and I apologize because right now I don't know what her name was, but I just looked at her picture and then made a couple of adjustments to mine, and then I thought I would show you how the lights go in. So I'm going to give you just a second so that I can get flipped around. So I'm going to pause for a minute. Okay, so here's what the frame looks like. It's very pretty in the daytime. And then it has a battery pack on the back with a timer light. And then there's lights all around here and all around here. Doesn't show well in the daylight, but it's very, very pretty at night. Okay, so we are using, the Piece to You stamp set. And we're using Jesus, Joseph, and Mary. And we're using Silent Night and Holy Night. The easiest way, because I wanted to make sure that I could get it really, really dark, is we're using the Stamparatus. Okay, so I have one plate here that I am going to take my basic white piece and I'm going to put it onto my Stamparatus, hold it in place with the magnets, and then I can get my stamp out. And I want this to go up as high on the top as I can because I want room to be able to stamp Silent Night, Holy Night down here. And I could try to do them both at the same time, but I didn't want to. Okay, so that's all lined up on our basic white. We're going to close down the lid. That's going to grab the stamp. Okay, and then we can go ahead and ink it up with Night of Navy. Okay, so we're just going to put lots of ink. The reason we use the Stamparatus is it's lined up, so if it's not as dark or as clear as I want, I can stamp it a second time, a third time. Okay. All right, so that's on there. And see what I mean? It didn't turn out quite as dark as I would like, so then we can ink it again. And I probably need to re-ink. I was doing some things with my Night of Navy stamp pad, and I probably need to just re-ink that too. But this is one of the great things about the Stamparatus. Okay. All right, we're going to do it again because it still isn't as dark as I wanted. Okay. Hopefully this will be the last one. Okay. Nope. All right, we're going to do it one more time. And again, make sure your stamp pad is re-inked really well. Okay. There we go. Much better. Okay. We're going to, whoops, I don't want to move that yet. We're going to take this plate off and we're going to put the second plate on. And then I'm going to take my Silent Night, Holy Night. I'm going to move this some and I'm going to put it right down here. That's pretty straight. Okay. And then we can just ink that up and stamp that down. And that turned out a little light, so we can, again, this is the awesome part, especially for letters. You can go right over the top of it and get it again. Okay, so there's our image that we're using. So now we're just going to take that off. I'll clean those later. Get those out of the way. Okay, now we're going to start building our frame. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this piece onto a piece of Night of Navy. This basic white piece is 3 inches by 4 1/8. Yes. And then our Night of Navy is 3 1/4 by 4 3/8. Okay. And then we have a piece of vellum that is 3 3 1/2 by 4 5/8. We're going to attach this onto the vellum with dimensionals because I want it kind of raised up off from it a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna peel those all off. And then we can go ahead, and our vellum is again 1/4 inch bigger than our Night of Navy. So we're just going to adhere that down. Okay, so there you can see. All right, then I have a piece of Night of Navy that is 5 by 5, and I've embossed it with the Time Worn Type embossing folder. And a piece of basic white that is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. Okay, and we're going to attach these together. I did it with dimensionals last time. We're not going to this time. We're just going to adhere this down flat. The dimensionals didn't make much difference, and it'll make it a little bit easier to work with. Okay, so you're just centering that. And then we have basic white that is, and I used the thick basic white, that is 8 by 8. That's the size of my frame. Then I have a piece of Night of Navy that is 6 by 6. So we're going to adhere these two together. And again, you can measure it. I just kind of eyeball it. Okay. All right. Now, we are going to take our pick tool and we are going to poke a hole. And actually, I can start it here. Kind of in the center, about 1 inch up from the bottom. It's not exact accurate. We just need a place to feed our lights into. Okay. And so just wiggle it around to get your hole kind of opened up. All right. Then I have a battery pack of lights. I got these fairy lights on Amazon. Okay. And so we need to untwist them and even this part. Okay. We don't have to worry about this being uncurled a lot because it's going to tuck inside the frame. But we do need to untangle, just like regular Christmas lights. We don't want it all tangled up. Okay. And so we just want to unroll these. This is like a 6-foot string of the fairy lights. And I will try to find the link again, and I will post that also. I think these came in a 5-pack for like $15. They're roughly $3 a pack. $16, $17, something like that. Okay, so now we're going to take the end and we're going to poke it up and we're going to feed it all the way through. We're going to pull all of it through except where the wire got thicker. So you just kind of have to be a little careful that you're not kinking it all up. We're going to do a lot of kinking and twirling here in a minute, but okay. Okay, so you're going to go all the way to the thick part. The thick part you're not going to pull through, okay? So we're good like that. Just leave the rest of that sit for now. Okay, now we have this piece with the embossed image. So we are going to start by, again, poking a hole because our lights are going to have to come up through this one now too. And this is where it just gets a little tricky in, it's not a hard, well, I guess it's hard in, you've got things going everywhere. We're going to poke these through, and we're going to pull like 11 or 12 of the little tiny seed lights through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so that's what we want on the top, but right now we're going to work with the bottom. So just kind of fold them out of the way the best you can. You need some Scotch tape, just good old tape to hold things into position underneath. Okay, now what we have left here, we're going to work our way around the back of this. So we're going to take a piece of tape, and we're kind of going to get things started. There's our first seed light. We want it down at the bottom. So then we're just going to tape that out of the way. And then we're going to work our way again. Okay, there's that one. And then we've got another one in the corner. So put a piece of tape down to hold the extra out of the way. And then we're just going to keep working our way like that. We're going to put roughly, what do we have? Oh, and you know what? I should have started. That's right, we can make this work. Okay. And so then we're just going to roll this, get this out of the way, put one in the middle here. And this is where I said it's not hard, it's just you've got fingers everywhere. And that's why if you tape those wires out of the way, it makes it a little bit easier to work with. And just keep twisting the rest of this around. Okay, here's a seed. So then we're just going to bend the rest of this out of the way. And then we've got another one we're going to put roughly in the middle. And another one on the corner. And we might be pulling one of those back yet. Okay, let's get that and that. Let's put that one down. Okay, then we want one in the middle here. This is going to be perfect. Okay, so we're kind of like that. And then we have one more down here. And see what I mean? It's just all over the place. Okay. So we're going to do this. And then I'm going to actually, this first one we did, I'm going to move it back. I'm going to pull this one over into the center. So I'm just untaping. And we're going to move this over into the center. And then we can tape that down and tape that down. Okay? And then we are all set to get that out of the way. Then we're going to put dimensionals all around. Okay? We don't want to put it on the lights, but we want to put it all around so that we have good support in between these lights. I'm going to put another one right there and one right there. You want to try to keep the lights as close to the outside edge as you can because it won't show through the night of navy. Okay, so you want to try to make sure that it's where the white is. Oops. Okay, so then we're going to put some here and around this side. And then we want it supported in the middle also. So this project, again, will take a lot of dimensionals, as most of my projects do, right? All right, let's get these things out of the way. Okay, just a couple left. All right, I think all of those are off. Okay, then we're going to flip it back over. And we're going to adhere it down and center it. Just like that. Now we have all of this that we are going to attach to the back of here. And this is where, I mean, I had quite a few lights going around this part of it. Okay. So we're going to kind of start about in the middle. And then, and this one you're really getting curly with. Okay, so there's that. And then this one's going to get harder to turn. Okay. And then we're coming, and again, you want to keep those little lights close to the edge. Yeah, let's see. 12. Okay, then I want one up here in the middle again, or in the corner. Whoops. We want to keep this one. It needs to go more in the corner. Like that. And then like that. And then we're going to work our way around some more. And we're going to try to get one in the middle here. So having the tape handy really, really helps. Okay, this last one, I'm going to go ahead right now and I'm going to put it right down here at the bottom also. And then I'm going to kind of work my way backwards. Oops, we don't want that hanging over. Okay, I got to trim that off. Having a helper hold things in place makes it a little easier. Okay, let's see, how many more do we have? We got one there. We got one here. Yeah, I got a few too many lights. Okay. And then we're going to back it up here. We're going to put 2 on this side. Whoops, that one went way too far back. Okay, there's that. And then we can get this around, get this one down here on the corner. Okay, we've got one extra one, so I'm going to back all of these up so that I can put one more on this edge over here. And luckily the tape pulls back off pretty easy. Okay, so we're going to get one up here. Come on. Get that one off. Okay, get that up out of the way. Okay, then back over here. And we're going to put this one into the corner here. Yep, there we go. So we've got that. We've got one more there too. Get our tape across there. And then we've got 2 lights here, so we can get one right there. And then we can get another one right there. And tape that down, okay? Quite a job, but it's not, you know, it's like, okay, doable. Okay, let's get that one taped down into place. All right, then again, we're going to use our dimensionals, and we're going to go in between here wherever we can get one, because we want to keep that raised up. What I found is by putting the dimensionals in there, it helped raise so that there was enough reflection behind the lights. Okay, here's our bottom down here. So then we just maneuver it and we attach it. Okay, and then I'm trying to see, I got you all crooked here, but okay, that's pretty good right there. And then we have our battery pack. So look at that. You can see the lights around there. It's so pretty. Okay, then what I did, and I don't know where I put my frame. Okay, all right. But what I did is I put my, okay, let's pull this all out of here so that you can see this part. I set my picture inside the frame. Okay, you know what? Let's just do that. Okay, so we're going to set our picture inside the frame, and then all of the wire just kind of piles on there so that it will close. As soon as I get my little tabs out of the way. Okay. And then, let's see if we can just take this one off so I can completely show you. Okay. All right. Then I have the battery pack, and I didn't want it just flopping all over the place. So I took this, and here's your mechanism. So I have a piece right now. This is 2 inches by 6 inches. Okay. I scored it at 1 inch and then at 1 3/4, just to give me something to be able to start with. I didn't want all of it scored right away because I want to be able to make sure that it fits snug. Okay. And so there's one. So take your bone folder and make sure you crease it really well. And then we've got the second one right here. Let's crease that really well. Okay. And we're a little long. We could cut off, about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so 5.5 inches would be big enough. And then I'm going to use either tear and tape, or I'm using the Seal Plus to make sure that it sticks really well. Okay, but you want to be able to access this. Now you could glue this right onto the frame. I just chose not to, so that I can still access the battery pack if I need to. Okay, but I want it nice and snug. And there, it's all done. Now the battery pack stays in there so that you can then set it up on a shelf. And let's turn it back on. There, look at that. Isn't that pretty? So that's how we do the lighted frame, or that's how I did the lighted frame for Santa's Workshop. But this is day 5 of Christmas, of my 12 days of Christmas. I'm sorry. Okay, so everybody have a great night. We'll talk to you later.